Throughout history, empires have risen like giants, only to vanish like shadows. Some controlled half the known world, others shaped culture, trade, and science for centuries. Today, we count down the 10 greatest empires in human history. Get ready, because what you're about to see isn't just history, it's the story of power, ambition, and legacy on a scale the world may never see again. But what makes an empire great? Is it land size, population, wealth, influence? The truth is, it's all of them. An empire isn't just about armies marching. It's about building systems, trade networks, and cultures that last. Think of it like this: the world's first superpowers, the original influencers, leaving footprints so big we still walk in them today. We begin with the Ottoman Empire. For over 600 years, it stretched across Europe, Asia, and Africa. At its peak in the 16th century under Suleiman the Magnificent, the Ottomans ruled over 30 million people. Istanbul, once Constantinople, became the beating heart of trade between East and West. Spices, silk, coffee, ideas. If it moved, it likely passed through Ottoman hands. Imagine New York, London, and Dubai combined into one city, and you'd get a taste of their power. Their military? The janissaries, elite soldiers feared across continents. The Ottomans didn't just build an empire, they built a bridge between civilizations. Next, the Spanish Empire. Born in 1492 with Columbus's voyage, Spain's empire stretched across the Americas, Africa, Asia, and Europe. At its height, it was the first empire where the sun never set. Ships loaded with silver and gold from the New World poured into Spain's coffers, so much in fact that it caused inflation across Europe. Imagine dropping an ocean of money into the world economy overnight. Spanish explorers, missionaries, and soldiers spread language and culture far and wide. Today, over 500 million people speak Spanish, a legacy of empire that outlasted its political power. And yes, they gave us chocolate. If that's not greatness, what is? At number 8, the Qing Dynasty. By the 18th century, China under the Qing was the world's largest economy, ruling over 400 million people. The dynasty expanded China's borders to their greatest extent, embracing Tibet, Mongolia, and Central Asia. The Forbidden City glittered with imperial power, while Chinese silk, tea, and porcelain dominated global trade. Think of Amazon Prime, but in the 1700s. Europe was addicted to Qing goods, and silver flowed into China by shipload. Even as European powers grew stronger, the Qing remained a titan of culture, science, and economy for nearly 3 centuries. Number 7, the Umayyad Caliphate. In less than a century, the Umayyads created one of the largest empires in history, stretching from Spain to India. Picture a startup going viral overnight, but instead of social media, it was an empire. The Umayyads didn't last long, but their influence still echoes through language, religion, and law across the world today. Next, the Russian Empire. At its peak, it covered almost 22.8 million square kilometers, 1/6 of Earth's landmass. From the icy tundra of Siberia to the warm waters of the Black Sea, Russia's size was staggering. Tsarist Russia wasn't just about land, it was about raw power. The mighty army and a complex mix of cultures from Europe to Asia made it a unique empire. Imagine boarding a train in St. Petersburg and riding for a week straight, still inside the empire. That's how massive it was. At number 5, the Abbasid Caliphate. With Baghdad as its capital, while Europe was in the so-called Dark Ages, Baghdad's scholars were inventing algebra, mapping the stars, and preserving Greek philosophy. Hospitals, libraries, universities. This empire valued knowledge as much as power. And let's not forget coffee, an Abbasid gift that powers our mornings to this day. You could say they brewed both science and caffeine. Next, the Achaemenid Persian Empire. Founded by Cyrus the Great, it stretched from the Mediterranean to the Indus Valley, over 5.5 million square kilometers. Known for tolerance, efficient administration, and the legendary royal road system, Persia was the first real global empire. They even had an early postal service, Think FedEx, but with horses and royal messengers. Their architecture, governance, and innovations influenced everyone from the Greeks to the Romans. At number 3, Rome, the empire that gave us roads, aqueducts, concrete, and the idea of law. At its height, under Trajan, Rome ruled over 70 million people, about 21% of the world's population. Its legions were unstoppable, its culture unforgettable. Latin became the root of Romance languages. Its architecture still inspires capitals today. Picture an empire so powerful that 1,500 years after it fell, people still call themselves Romans, from Mussolini to modern football fans shouting Roma. That's legacy. Runner-up, the Mongol Empire. Forged by Genghis Khan, it became the largest contiguous empire in history, over 24 million square kilometers. Their armies on horseback moved faster than anyone could imagine. If speed kills, the Mongols were lethal. They connected east and west, reviving the Silk Road and spreading ideas, goods, and even technologies. Sure, they were feared conquerors, but they also built the first globalized world. Without them, Marco Polo might never have made it to China. And at number 1, the British Empire. At its height in 1920, it ruled over 412 million people, nearly a quarter of Earth's population, and controlled about 25% of the world's landmass. From India to Canada, Australia to Africa, the British Empire was so vast that the sun truly never set on it. English became the world's lingua franca, industrialization spread globally, and trade networks tied continents together. Its legacy is complex. Railways and parliaments on one hand, colonialism and exploitation on the other. But in sheer scale and impact, no empire has ever surpassed it. From Rome's legions to Britain's colonies, from Mongol horsemen to Ottoman sultans, empires have been the engines of history. They built monuments, spread ideas, and left scars that still shape our modern world. Empires may rise and fall, but their echoes remain in our languages, our laws, and even in the coffee we drink. So what do you think? Which empire deserves the crown as history's greatest? Let us know in the comments, and if you want more epic journeys through time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Epic Timeline Events. History, after all, is the greatest story ever told.